Okay, so here we have a few options and try to see which ones are correct. Now, here it's just the answers, so they're all correct, but for the sake of it, let's just, act like we don't know if the answers are correct. So, it is greater, so this equation is greater than 0 for all x such that x is smaller than -2/3 or greater than 4. So we just put x as any number smaller than -2/3, like let's say -1, or a number bigger than 4, any number bigger than 4. That's, let's say, 5, right? That's a pretty ugly 5. 5. Uh, and you can just put whichever one, it doesn't really matter. Put it instead of x and uh, see what's your answer. And if it is greater than 0, then your answer is correct, like how it is right now. It is less than 0 for all x such that -2/3 is smaller than x is and x smaller than 4. Okay, so you just put x as a number between -2/3 and 4. So let's just say 2. You put x as 2, and if it's less than 0, then it is correct. And then you have it's equal to 0 when x is equal to -2/3 or 4. You just put -2/3 on the instead of x, and you put 4 instead of x, and you see if you get 0. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so here it's easy. So we do the same thing in question 1. We just see which one's true. So x equal -4 is root of the equation. Now you can just put you can go to mode setup, go to equation/functions, put the equation and see what are the roots, and you'll see that -4 is one of them, so it's correct. And then you're gonna have x power of 2 minus 2x minus 24 is smaller than 0 for all x satisfying -4 is smaller than x. Yeah, -4 is smaller than x, and x is smaller than 6. Okay, so we just put any number between -4 and 6. Let's just choose at random, so let's just choose one. One works. Anything really works. So yeah, you're gonna put 1 instead of x, and you're gonna put in the calculator, and then you're gonna get your answer. If it's smaller than 0, then yeah, it's correct. And finally, we're gonna do the third one. So you're gonna so the equation is greater than 0 for all x smaller than -4, or all x is greater than 6. So get a number smaller than -4, which like let's say -5, or a number larger than 6, which is for example 7. We just put instead of x, and if it's greater than 0, then yeah, then the option is correct. Now moving on to part B. Solution set of x squared, here it's supposed to be squared, sorry. X squared minus 2x is smaller than or equal to 24, is x -4 and x 6. Okay, so we have, I'm gonna write up top here, x squared minus 2x. Here it's greater than or equal to 24. Now, an easy way to do this is just get to the other side, so you just, it becomes -24, and then it's equal to 0. And yeah, you can just write this in the calculator. Now, like, it's just gonna be over here, it's gonna be the same exact thing. That's how it is gonna be in the exam as well, but yeah. You're gonna write this in the calculator, and you're gonna get your roots, and your roots are gonna be -4 and 6. So here, you so here you just put the equation in the calculator, and or like you go menu setup, equation function, you put in the calculator, and you're gonna get the roots. Now it's gonna have the letter I in it, and whenever you see the letter I in it, that means it has no real roots. And yeah, that's it. So 100x squared minus 10x plus 1 is greater than 0 for all real numbers x. Now, a way to do this is just put a positive number, put 0 and put a negative number, and see if it and see which ones are true. So let's show. I like doing 1, 0, and -1, but you can really use anything. So 100 1 squared minus 10 times 1 plus 1, that is 100 minus 10 plus 1, that's 91. Okay, that's correct since it's greater than 0. Now you just use 0, so that would be 100 and times 0 squared minus 10 times 0 plus 1, that's gonna be equal to 1. So 1 is greater than 0, so that's also correct. And then, and then you do the last one, which is a negative number, so 100 times -1 squared minus 10 -1 plus 1, you're gonna get 100 minus, I don't know, but the answer you put in your calculator, you're gonna get a number greater than 0, so it's gonna be correct. And that's how you know it's all real numbers. If let's say the negative number doesn't work, or 0 doesn't work, it's gonna be all real numbers excluding 0. Let's say the negative numbers and 0 don't work, it's gonna be all positive numbers. That's it, easy. And for here, yeah, it's just the same exact thing. You just do the same exact thing we just did for the second one, and that's how you get your answer. Okay, so here we're trying to figure out which options are correct. So the domain of f is a set of all real numbers. Whenever they ask for the domain, they mean x. Now, can you put x as any number? Yeah, we can. So it is the set of all real numbers. That's correct. The range of f is a set of all real numbers. Whenever they're asking for the range, they mean the y. And can you get any number as y, or like the outcome in general? No, you can't, because you can't get 0 or you can't get a negative number, because it's 4 to the power of x. Now, there's nothing you can put instead of x to give you a negative number or 0. So that's incorrect, since here it's saying it's a set of all real numbers. The horizontal asymptote of the curve representing f is the x-axis. So I'm not sure what the graph looks like. I think it looks like this. Now, how do you know it's correct? So here's the x-axis. So it's gonna be getting closer and closer to the x-axis, but it's never gonna touch it. Now, if this was the correct graph for me, like, it's not really straight and accurate, but it just keeps getting closer and closer, but never touches it. So that's how you know it represents the x-axis. And then you have it intersects the y-axis at 0.01 and intersects the x-axis at 0.01. I mean, you're just gonna have to look at the graph for that. There's really no explanation. Yeah, that's it. This question, they gave us this element and they gave us the half-life. They're trying to figure out how many grams would be left after a certain amount of time. So we know that the equation is mass after equal mass before times 0.5 the power of time over half-life. So since you know that, mass after is unknown, equal to mass before, which is 512 times 0.5, the power of, what's the time, will be left after 4 minutes, so 4, and we should always convert them to become the same unit. So 30 seconds, let's just convert to minutes, it's going to become 0.5. 4 over, so we're just going to do 512 times 0.5 power of 4 over 0.5, you get 2. That's it. Okay, so for these questions, they give you this. I'm not reading the whole thing, but they give you this, and they want x and y. Now whenever you see the letter I, that means it's an imaginary number. So we separate everything imaginary here and everything that's not imaginary here. So let's just start with non-imaginary. So we have um, 7x is equal to negative 21. So x equal to negative 3. That's it, simple, and we'll just keep that to the side. So let me just x equal to negative 3. And now we move on to the imaginary numbers. So we have negative 8y. You don't write the I because it's not like a letter. Is equal to for x minus 5y. So for x minus 5y. Now we know that x is negative 3, so we just switch it here, negative 3. So we get minus 8y equal to negative 12 minus 5y. And we get, you just write in your calculator, you get y equal to 4. That's it, simple. Okay, so here the total z is 5, ouch, that's the eraser. Total z is 5 plus 4i, and they told us that w is 2 minus I. 2 minus I. They want z times w, so we just multiply everything normally. Everything inside here, we multiply everything inside here, multiply it inside here. So 5 times 2, that's 10, and then 5 times minus I, that's minus 5i, and then 4i times 2, that's plus 8i, and then 4i times negative I, that's minus 4i squared. Now this is a rule you need to know. Whenever you see I squared, it's always equal to negative 1, right? You always write that. So instead of I squared, we're just gonna put negative 1. So it's gonna become 10 minus 5i plus 8i, and then minus 4 times negative 1, it's just gonna become 4. So now we simplify 10 and 4, you get 14, minus 5 plus 8, you get 3, so plus 3. That's it, that's your answer. There's really not much to explain. You just get your calculator, you press menu setup, and then you go to equation slash function, and you're gonna go to polynomial, and you're gonna enter the degree. Now the degree is just whatever number you see here, really. So in this case it's 2, and you enter your equation. So here it's 1x squared plus 6x plus 25, and you're gonna get both your answers on the calculator, and that's it. Math, right? Trust me. So you just multiply the outside bracket to the inside, you're gonna get negative 21, and you do the same here, so you're gonna get negative 21 plus 18i, and then you're gonna do that's one part, and here it's because there's plus, we just put the plus, and we do the same on the other one. So we get 2 times 4, that's 8, and then 2 times negative 3, that's minus 6i, and then negative 21 plus 8, that's 13, and then sorry, negative 13, apologies, plus 18, so 18i minus 6i, that's plus 12i. That's it, that's your answer. For this one, we already did it before, but different numbers. So you just multiply normally. Let me just write out over here, minus 3 plus 4i. Okay, so you just multiply this number with this number normally, you get negative 15, and then 5 times 4i, you get plus 20i, and you do the same here. So negative 2i times negative 3, that's plus 6i, and then negative 2i plus times 4i, you get negative 8i squared. Now we already said that I squared is always equal to -1. It's always like that. That's a rule. So we just put -1 instead of I squared. So let's just erase this, put -1 here, and we're gonna get -15 plus 20i plus 6i, and then -8 times -1, that's +8. So now you just simplify. -15 plus 8, that's -7, and then 20i plus 6i, that's 26i, and that's our answer. So for this question, they're asking us the value of this equation or function right here. I don't know, I can't tell the difference, to be honest. So so the value is g1 over 1 minus r. That's always how it is. So we have g1. G1 is always the first term over here, so that's 50 over 1 minus. Now what's r? We don't know r. So how do you get r? R, it's just the second term, which is -100 over 3 over the first term. So that's just let me just write that in the calculator. -100 over 3 over 50. That's -2 over 3. So r equal -2 over 3. Now remember to add this in brackets, because sometimes it actually does make a difference. And you're gonna get your answer of 30. That's a pretty ugly 30, but you know, we don't criticize here. So that's your answer. So here it tells you in the given that the geometric progression 6 radical 3 x and then 72 radical 3 are the sequence itself, and they want us to find x. They give us the first term, they give us the third term, and we're trying to find x. Now how can you possibly find x in this situation? We can do third term over the second term is equal to second term over the first term. So it's always 3 2 2 1, and if that makes sense, like I'll just write it here. G3 over G2 equal to G2 over G1. Simple as that. I'm gonna have to erase that because that's pretty hard. Okay, I'll just whatever. So we do 72 radical 3 over x is equal to is equal to x over, let me just erase that, equal to x over 6 radical 3. Now you add that in the calculator. Let me just type it real quick. Equal to, ouch, yep, it is equal to 36. You do shift calc and you get 36, and that's your answer. Yeah, that's it. And just to double check, if you want, you can do 36 which is your x over the first term, because second term over first term, 6 radical 3, so 36, whatever, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Here we just multiply normally like every other time, and we get -15, and then here we get plus 27i, and then 2i times 5, that's plus 10i, and finally 2i times -9i, that's -18i squared. Now, as we said, I squared is equal to -1 like always, so we just move this I squared equal to -1, and it's gonna come out like this, bam bam bam, 10i plus 18, because -18 times -1, that's plus 18, So we just simplify now. Negative 15 plus 18, that's 3. And then 27i plus 10i, that's plus 37i. Now, that's your answer.